Hello, Twitchers, Twitchies, Twitcheroos, Twitchettes, Twitchingtons, Twitchlings, Twitchlers, Twitchoos. Maybe I already said that. I don't know. Hey! Let's just go with that. Let's adjust this camera. Hey, Billy. So doing something a bit different this time. Hey, Mark. I do a lot of like dark stuff on the stream, so I thought maybe I would do something a little bit more fun, a bit kind of cuter for a change. So I'm doing a cartoon possum. Every once in a while, I'll message myself ideas for possible stream themes, and this was on there. Kind of hillbilly possum. I don't remember what got me thinking of it, but I loved Tiny Toons as a kid, and if you've ever seen Tiny Toons, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, there's a whole thing with all these like backwater possums, and so I kind of had that a little bit in the back of my mind. But I'm gonna make most of it up as I go along. I have the base idea for a pose and stuff like that, but I'm open to some suggestions if you want to throw some stuff at. Probably going to be a quicker one today, given the nature of it. But let's get into it and see what happens. Also, fun fact, is hillbilly considered an offensive term now? Because if it is, I didn't know that, and sorry if I offended anybody. But when I went to go live, I put, just like my ad says, I put hillbilly possum, let's draw one, and it wouldn't let me go live with that. It said that was a banned word from Twitch, and if that's become offensive, I had no idea. There's even a like rockabilly is a thing, and that's a musical genre that derives from that name. So I'm very confused if this is, but also maybe not that shocked because I guess most things are offensive now. I don't know. But fill me in, guys, if anybody knows. Might know where I'm headed with this, that I'm moving this upside down for a second. Or actually might be drawing upside down for a while yet. But just in general, or depending on how you use it? Because I can see how it could be used in a derogatory sense, but I feel like just saying it in general doesn't necessarily automatically mean that's what you were going for. Although, I guess if it on its own doesn't immediately imply anything derogatory, Twitch doesn't know how you're using it necessarily, so I guess that makes sense. I did not know that, Billy. That's interesting. Did you just learn that when you were looking up the derogatory thing? Or the hillbilly thing? Which, as it turns out, is a derogatory thing. That's weird. Explain that one to me. What does jaywalking have to do with hillbillies in any general? Might do something else with that tail. Might get a hold of something, haven't decided yet. And they determined that the jays were most commonly like people from the woods. By the way, the key word for the music today was cute. Thought I'd go more cartoony. I don't know about the music on this thing, guys. Gotcha. Chantel? Okay. Was literally just thinking that, Mark. I had to ask Chantel, did I type it out as Hilly Billy at some point? Because I corrected myself doing that earlier. I'm wondering if I let one slip from, or is that just a coincidence, that comment of yours? Alright. The one loose strap, like the 90s. I looked up rockabilly as a theme for the music as well. It only gave me like 4 tracks. Apparently cute just gives you lullabies. I don't know what you think of that. What should be in this other arm, guys? I considered banjo, but eh. That's not a bad idea, Billy. Actually, maybe I'll try that. I'll see what that turns up. Oh, pipe's a good idea, Chantel. Okay, I'll do a pipe. That little Mary Had a Little Lamb, really? There we go. That looks better. All right, why not? Maybe that's better. I recognize this tune. I don't get flagged for this. Honestly, probably mine too. Okay, so his tail's holding his hat. Little hat. Might just leave it at that. I'm considering if I want to add. I wonder about almost having like a banjo sitting up there. I don't know. I got the banjo thing in my mind because of that Tiny Toons episode with the possums, but I think I might leave it. All right, I think I'm gonna start inking it. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I don't know. Do we do the? Fuck it. Let's do the banjo. Bullied me into it, Billy. What the hell does the head of a banjo look like? Okay, one sec. I gotta look up a banjo reference. One sec, guys. Okay. Pretty much exactly like a guitar. Play a much. I'll add the strings when I ink. Okay, let's ink it. Let's do a thicker line on this one, actually. This is cartoony. Anybody ever see the movie Sleepaway Camp? From early 80s. I watched that this afternoon before the stream. It's... I mean, it's not good, but... It was interesting. It's... Okay, so, like, it's kind of like a... Definitely inspired by Friday the 13th. It's kind of a Friday the 13th ripoff. There's some legitimately creative ideas in it. The execution's not very good, and it's very dated. In a lot of ways. I'll give you a taste of how bad the dialogue is. Near the beginning, after the first murder, actually the guy doesn't even die, actually. He falls into a, he gets pushed into like a giant pot of like boiling soup and just like burns like really badly. And like the head of the camp asks the doctor as they're taking the guy away on a stretcher. They're like, "So what's the prognosis?" And the doctor's entire prognosis is he's burned, head to toe. So, well, no shit. He fell into a boiling pot of soup, like, and that was it. That was the entirety of his prognosis. The best written line of dialogue I thought the entire time was when this one teenage dude says, "I gotta take a wicked dump first." I thought that was a quality line that I think actually suited the character. Otherwise, eh. But it is like a 80s slasher classic with a major cult following, or well, a cult following anyway. So I'm glad I finally saw it. But yeah, definitely not a great movie. Yeah. Like I said, there were some decent ideas in it though. Like it was, I kind of wondered if they had more, if the person that wrote and directed it had maybe polished the script a bit more, and maybe had a bit more time and or money, maybe there would have been a bit more to it. Because you could tell there was some creative thinking in it. Apparently, I was reading a little bit about it during the movie. Apparently, like, the director actually storyboarded the entire thing, but their time restraints were so tight that he ended up not being able to use his storyboard. I guess they had to go on the fly. They couldn't properly do this, and that just kind of made me wonder, like, made me think that, like, because normally a storyboard would help you be more efficient, right? So if the storyboarding slowed him down, it might be that he had storyboarded some like really elaborate shots. They just didn't have time to set up and everything. So maybe they're like, it's just interesting hearing there was a creative vision that didn't get to be on screen rather, and it makes you wonder if maybe what we saw isn't actually representative of the intent. I don't know. I might be giving it too much credit. How are you guys tonight? What's everybody up to while they watch? Cool, cool. I am a strong supporter of food. Nice. I cleaned up my kitchen properly for the first time in months. Yesterday morning. I've been decent about making sure to wash the dishes with some frequency, but like I was still letting the counters get kind of gross and stuff. So that was kind of a big deal for me. That's how I started my morning yesterday. And I started my morning today by being an hour and a half late for a staff meeting, so that was cool. We had a meeting for our return to campus. And I misread the email. I thought it started at 12. And then I was checking my email, and I got the notice about it. It turned out it was ending at 12, so I was like, shit. I jumped in right away. Hey, Centane. Yeah. Were you intending to be at it, Mark? Did you make the same mistake I did? I felt really bad for having been late just in general because I hate being late, but I also felt bad because I had questions, but I didn't want to ask them because I didn't want to make anybody repeat anything that had already been said. But Tom said early on that there was going to be an email sent out with all the points covered, so I was like, okay, I'll only ask things if I have reason to believe they haven't been brought up before. And I did ask one question that had been brought up, so I felt bad about that. Okay. I should message Virtue and tell her that we're going to be back on campus, because she was asking on an almost daily basis for a while. And I was about to tell her the last time she was on the stream, and then her internet cut out, and I found out later she didn't hear me. Well, by now she might have heard from Batu or something. Oh noes, Billy? Which are we referring to? Oh, my awkwardness at the meeting? Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'll try to remember. I'll shoot her a message after we're done here. Unless she ends up coming into the stream, and then we'll all tell her in person. spam ping on Discord. Oh, for the meeting you mean, Mark? That is the standard excuse, seems to work for all the students, I guess. Or they think it works, but we're on to them, we're on to them. How are you doing, Centane? First time in a while Centane's been able to join us because of her job at Meet. Have you done that yet, Centane? I know that's part of your plan. unrelated to that, but has anybody seen a possum? Has anybody seen a possum in real life? Because I never have, but apparently we do have them here. Is that what you're doing at this exact moment, Sensei? Cool, cool. Huh. So is that one of like the natural orders of nature kind of thing? If we were to kill the possums, we'd be overrun by ticks? I don't know that anybody is suggesting we kill all the possums. I just mean hypothetically. Gotcha. I think Tom will be taking next week off, Centane. He might be in this week, though, which is almost over, of course, but... When did you send him the email? Okay. He might have just been too busy to get to it today. Like I said, I think he's in tomorrow, but I'm not sure. Even if he is, he might wait till we return. And he can maybe assess. That's what we're not sure about, Billy. I don't actually think that they are currently. But Centane asked me if they were, and I said I wasn't sure, but you could email Tom. I think they're all staffed up at the moment, but putting your name out there isn't a terrible thing, just because they're aware that you're interested at least. It's 3D's looking? I don't know that Centane would even be considered for 3D just because she didn't do the 3D program. I think they only look within their own grads. Also not positive about that though. But I'm pretty sure. You'll want to leave out the kinda part, Centane, if you get an interview on the subject. Or Kevin Pollak, actor, comedian, was talking about one time how, like, when you're at an audition, if they ask you if you know how to ride a horse, your answer should always be, I got a saddle in my trunk right now. Whether you've ever ridden a horse before or not. Exactly. Also me at this camp thing when I was in elementary school. Hey, Parker. I had a friend that grew up on a farm, but didn't have horses. My thing was like I got me and a few other people from my school got picked to go to this peer mediating camp thing where you kind of learn how to like break up fights and stuff like that. Um, and then they never brought it up again after that. I think I was expecting to get like a badge or some shit. But they never, I think they just wanted us to know how to do it, so we'd take it upon ourselves to like step in if something was going down in the playground. In hindsight, it was kind of, it seemed like a good idea at the beginning, and they never followed through on it. But anyway, yeah, me and a few others got picked to go there, and one of the perks was we got to go horseback riding on one of the days. And it was fun, but I never got on a horse again after that. Pretty much, Parker. The elementary school equivalent of crowd control methods. Yikes, Chantal. It's fun every once in a while doing something more fun and cartoony like this. There was a time when this kind of stuff was pretty much all I drew. Well, actually, I guess that's not entirely true. I've always drawn comic booky stuff as well. But I definitely used to draw this kind of cartoony stuff a lot more often than I do now. Well, like, my stuff's always cartoony, but like, it's like just exaggerated proportions. It's not like talking animal cartoony, you know? And I exaggerate the size of my eyes on pretty much everything, but I don't go to this level all that often necessarily. Unless I've been tasked with it. Did I ever tell you guys where the Outhouse Cartoons name came from? I feel like I have. They have not, Billy. But you have now. Ew, Chantel. So I'm assuming I did tell it if Billy knows it. It was just, the first thing I ever animated, or the first thing I ever animated on my own anyway, was this joke of, you know, one of my dad's dad jokes, about a bear and a rabbit each taking a shit on a log. And I wanted to just throw it, and I just did it as an experiment to kind of learn how to animate, in Premiere of all things. And then I like wanted to have a logo at the beginning of it, mainly just to make the running time a little bit longer. And so I went with Outhouse Cartoons since it was kind of like a toilet joke, and it was like in the woods, so an outhouse made sense, and then it just stuck from there. Nice. I guess technically, like, we had a program in elementary school called HyperCard, which was sort of like a PowerPoint kind of thing. I think it was intended for presentations, but you could use it, you could add buttons and program them to take you from one card to the next, and you could trigger animation and stuff that way. And so I did do a little bit of animation then, but it was just taking clip art and moving it around basically. It wasn't like anything too legit. There's someone at Foundation now named Ami, and I think she follows me on Twitch, but I don't think she's ever spoken up in the chat if she's ever watching. If you're watching right now, feel free to speak up on me. But she draws some pretty crazy things with MS Paint. Oops. What was the that first animation of, Billy? Okay. First 3D animation I ever did was a cone popping a sphere. I just animated a cone flying into a sphere, and the sphere kind of just popped. It didn't like explode properly or anything. It just kind of like, I expanded it for a few frames and then deleted it, so it would kind of like just disappear, but would have that swell for a beat. In my class, Parker, for, the bouncing ball. Cool, cool. Although I guess it hasn't been that long, really, so if you didn't remember, that'd almost be insulting. I think I probably gave you pretty high marks, Billy, just for attempting a quadruped. Four-legged walks are, like, I don't remember it well enough to speak to the quality. It's probably better than you're giving it credit for, because it usually is. But quadrupeds are like one of the hardest things to animate. That's true of anything creative, I think, though. Sure. Another thing I had on my list, by the way, for possible original stream ideas was I wrote down Eleanor the Eloquent Elephant. And I came this close to picking that one to draw today. But then something made me Google it. I can't remember why I Googled it, but I Googled it, and there's like a kid's song or something called Eleanor the Elegant Elephant, and I was like, oh, well, alright, maybe not then. Kind of took the wind out of my sails. For a second there, I thought, oh, that'd be fun. Sounds good, Centane. See you next time. What do you mean missed the last minute, Billy? Or the last thing I said, you mean? I was saying that I almost did another idea I had written down called Eleanor the Eloquent Elephant. And then found out there was a kid's song called Eleanor the Elegant Elephant. And I thought, well, I guess that kind of just blows my idea then. So never mind. Well, I did say to share the thing on Discord. I don't know if that's what I said when I said if you want or not, but I did say that. Does anybody else remember Tiny Toon Adventures, how I spent my summer vacation? Which I think subconsciously was the genesis of this idea. Is that most excellent in reference to Tiny Toons Parker or to Billy's animation? Well, even if you never watched the show, if you ever get the chance to watch the movie, How I Spent My Summer Vacation, I would recommend it. It's pretty funny and really well done. Basically, it's all Tiny Toons characters split up and do their different things for the summer, and it intercuts between all of them. And they kind of interconnect in kind of cool ways. You'll see one story playing out and then something's happening in the background related to one of the other stories. So it's really well plotted out and stuff, and jokes are really funny. But there is a part where Buster and Babs end up in the back. It's like kind of backwater, kind of hick area, and all the hillbillies are possums. They kind of do a bit of a parody on Deliverance, but with a possum playing the banjo. Kinda, yeah. But obviously comedic instead of horror. Plucky. So like there's a flood or something and Babs and Buster end up on a raft, which is how they end up in the kind of backwater area. And Plucky tags along with Hampton and his family to go to Wacky Land, which is a like a theme park, and all kinds of crazy stuff happens on their road trip. And there is more. Offhand, those are the two that I'm remembering though. Plucky with Hampton, all kinds of bad shit keeps happening. But the family's completely oblivious to it, and Plucky's the only one that ever gets kind of the brunt of all the misdeeds. They pick up a hitchhiker that's clearly a serial killer. Plucky's the only one that realizes it. Good shit, folks. Good shit. Well, that one storyline, yes. Oh yeah. As in, you haven't heard anything about it from Parker, or you haven't even heard that it exists? Because I kind of forgot that it existed myself. Rule of threes, you see the tail coils around 3 times. Craziness. That's actually the same with Monsters at Work. It's out, but nobody seems to be talking about it, positively or negatively. What about What If? You guys watched that one? I think I asked last week about the first episode, but there's been another one since then. I liked episode 2 more than episode 1. I liked Captain Carter as a character a lot. And I thought that first episode was fun, but I didn't think that, like, the writing was anything special. Like, I didn't think it was all that creative considering the possibilities, but I think that they had more, I don't know, they went a little wilder with the second episode by comparison, at least. Gotcha. Yeah, that was my thing, Billy. Like, it was kind of... And I don't want to get too into it for spoilers. There's like one unique thing they added to, but I wasn't really crazy about that. And it involved Steve, and I felt like Steve didn't need to be there in that capacity. It was almost like them kind of chickening out of their own concept, I felt like. I don't think what you said was too spoilery, Billy. Don't worry. I think what I said was more even in my vague terms. But here, I don't think this is considered a spoiler. I'm gonna say it. The warning's out there. But one thing is, like, in that first episode, there's a part where Peggy comments about how difficult it is having her voice heard in the room just because she's a woman in the 40s and stuff. And I thought that, like, there was a missed opportunity to explore that kind of thing more, because that's sort of like, given the time that that story is set, that is a major change that would be prevalent if Peggy got the serum instead of Steve. And so that's where things could have really deviated in an interesting way, and it kind of had some commentary and the whole 9 yards, but instead they just kind of went like, no, same story, but with Peggy. And that was disappointing. But it was entertaining, I enjoyed it, but... Or yeah, a new take on the Winter Soldier, yeah, for sure. Exactly, Parker. They were just kind of playing it safe, I guess. I don't know. Although, there's definitely some sexist assholes that even that one scene where she acknowledges that, people complained. It was like, oh, they're so woke. I'm like, fuck you. Like... It's a thing. Women put up with bullshit, deal with it. They're allowed to talk about it. I do think Captain Carter is cool, though. I think she's a cool character. You know, one thing that I wish they, like... I liked her character design. I thought she looked cool. But you look at, like, you think about how tiny Steve was when he went into that machine, and then how giant he was when he came out by comparison. And she's really, because Peggy is more big, has a broader big bone build compared to young Steve to begin with. And so she really doesn't get that much bigger than she was before she went in. And I kind of feel like they maybe should have gone like full She-Hulk with her. Is that what happened in the second season, Billy? Because I really liked season 1 of Agent Carter, and then for whatever reason I missed the second season, and that's been on my list ever since Disney Plus became a thing. I don't know if I would say that Marvel doesn't like the character, because they didn't have to make the show in the first place. But it might have been conflicting ideas between what was being pitched and what the network thought should be a thing, and... Because I don't know that they would have made the Captain Carter episode at all if they were opposed to the character in general. I also know that Feige at that time had nothing to do with the TV stuff either. He's involved with the Disney Plus TV, but nothing prior to that. He might have EP credit, but I don't think he has any actual creative input. Or at the time, I mean. What was the same thing with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Chantel, you mean how it just kind of got into more sci-fi-ish stuff as it went? They kind of, I think it's semi-canon. Because for a while there, they were referencing the movies quite a bit. And it's like the movies never reference it back, but they also never expressly contradict it either. That was part of what I only watched the first, I think, season and a half of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And now that I will make it a drawing show, and I will give it a second chance with Disney Plus, because I have heard good things about it, I think from you guys, in fact. But like, I wasn't thrilled with it, and I stuck with it, I think, until Age of Ultron came out. And when they didn't like reference, I think it was Ultron, and then when they didn't reference anything from the show in the movies, I was like, hey, I don't need to watch this show to keep up with everything, so I don't feel that invested anymore, and I stopped. I feel like I'm not the only person that did that as well, but the show did continue for a few seasons, so it definitely had its fans. Are you watching it for the first time, Billy? Or are you, like, revisiting it? I feel like I actually will like it on the rewatch. I might have... It might be an expectations thing. It might be the fact that it'll be a drawing show. I don't actually know, but... I am expecting to like it more on the redraw. Okay. I have no idea if the strings I'm drawing make any sense at all. No, I mean like I watch it while I'm drawing. And like, there's lots of shows that I genuinely really, really like that I watch while I'm drawing. It's just that I'm able to follow them. Like, I thought Mad Men was really good, but I watched it while I was drawing. And I was able to follow it pretty effectively. And with Shield, there might be something to be said for watching fully, because it's got more action and stuff than something like Mad Men would be, and that's more visual. But I have a lot on my list, so I'm a bit choosier about the ones that I sit and give full attention to. And since my first impression of that wasn't the best, it gets ranked as a drawing show. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I ended before that season was over, but I did get to that, because I think that was season... I think it was season 2 when Ultron... Well, you just said it, so yeah. You tell me, Billy. Something that's smoking anyway. Tobacco. maybe of the wacky variety. If you look in it, it splashes light on your face, but that's it. Did you guys see the meme I posted not that long before the stream with the Law of the Giants? This is literally my life. It's one of the most relatable memes I've ever witnessed. Apparently. It is. Actually, this playlist I think has lived up to its reputation more than most of the ones that we've been getting lately. I think the thing is I think when it comes to musical genres, I think it's a bit more accurate. When I'm trying to get like more like thematic genres, like sci-fi, fantasy, things like that, that's when it's a little bit more vague. The irony of that, the music just paused. Okay, one sec. Oh, and that is it for the blue. Okay, all right, fine. I think you jinxed us, Billy. We're just gonna do rock for now. It's okay. I feel like we heard this track on the rock on the Bluegrass one though, maybe as well. I could be wrong. Itchy nose, itchy nose. I've got at least one more cartoony animal idea already on my list. Probably won't do that just yet though. Next week's will be a little bit darker. And then week after that I'm thinking something adventure-y, which I was tempted to do for next week, but I realized it's going to be kind of similar to the fan art one I'm doing next week, so I thought I'd split them up a little bit. Was it shorts and a belt? Or oh, sorry, too, it was specifically shorts. Because they would not accept Yakko. Fuck, that was weird. You working on homework right now, Parker? When is it you finish again? I know it's coming up. I think it kind of has become that, Billy. A little bit. We haven't made a meme out of it yet, but... Somebody want to make a meme for that? Task the Discord community? Maybe do that Irma Gerd face or something with it? I don't know. Irma Gerd. Yay! The game is also, which game are we talking about? I lost. Okay. Okie dokie. I do have a hard time not thinking. Okay. Alright, we are almost done here, guys. Just gotta do some of these spot blacks. And then we can call it. Yep. Coming in probably under 2 hours in the end. Next Tuesday, by the way, I am, well, there's one contingency that might make me have to put it off a week, but I don't expect it to happen. Yeah. Next week, next Tuesday, I'm actually gonna do a fan art commission. And it's gonna involve, me hand coloring it on stream. And the only reason that might change next week is because I ordered some new hand coloring implements, and if they don't arrive on time, I might put it off a week. But they're expected to arrive on time, so hopefully. And this this came up. I'll leave it to you guys to guess. I'll drop a hint like I normally do on Monday, but this did come up on the stream. Kind of briefly once. So you might be able to put 2 and 2 together. So be excited for that. I'm excited for it. I don't know how long I expect it to take. I feel like the drawing side of it probably won't actually take that long. The inking probably won't be that bad, but I haven't done a full color treatment on the stream before, so we'll see. I've done color touches. I don't think I've done... Actually, the only thing I ever think I did a full color job on was I did that leprechaun last year, which was actually my first Thursday night stream. That was what kicked off my Thursday original art streams. And I used markers, but it was also a pretty limited color palette, so it wasn't really that much. It's one character with an as-to-be-determined background. I have an idea for the background, but it's somewhat in flux. Okay, gonna make a couple quick tweaks here. Just smooth out this bumpy line I made here. And a little bit of that. Oops. And I think it's done, guys. I think we got a finished POSSUM here. Sound like Cliff Clavin as I said that. I see what you did there. Thanks, guys. Well, I will drop a hint on Monday like I normally do, because it is a fan art one, so it still fits that Tuesday night mold. All right, I'm gonna throw a signature on it. There we go. There we go. Cartoon. If you're not allowed to say hillbilly, what do I call it? Appellation? Possum? I don't know. Bill Hilly. All right, maybe we'll do that. Anyway, it's all done. So I'll see you guys next week. Like I said, fan art commission, elaborate colored one on Tuesday, unless stuff doesn't arrive on time, but it should. And on Thursday, back to something slightly darker than maybe this one. We're not talking crazy dark or anything like that, but maybe level of dark is the final girl, maybe, where it's kind of fun, but it implies some horror elements or something. However you want to classify it. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching. See you next time.